Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. On Saturday, November 11th at 9:30 a.m. in the county courthouse, 10 Republican candidates filed to officially run in the March 2018 primary election. Filings included Clay Harrison for county court at law judge. For Commissioner Precinct 2, Greg Anglin, John Wilburn, and Edward Moore. For Commissioner Precinct 4, Joe Price and John Davis Jaton. For Hopkins County Treasurer, Danny Davis and Andrea Griggs. For Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, B.J. Tier. For District Clerk, Cheryl Fulcher. For County Judge, Robert Newsom. Sulphur Springs resident and attorney of 13 years, Steve Lilly, filed paperwork on November 11th to run for judge of Hopkins County Court at Law on the Republican ticket. Lilly graduated from Baylor Law School in 2004 and moved to Hopkins County. He currently serves as an assistant district attorney in Hunt County. He previously worked as a prosecutor and attorney in civil practice in Sulphur Springs. If elected, Lilly intends to use his experience, particularly as a prosecutor, to focus on the well-being of children. Lilly and his wife, Adrian, have 3 girls. The older 2 attend Sulphur Springs Middle School. The youngest is in 3rd grade. Miss Lilly is children's director at First United Methodist Church in Sulphur Springs. Throughout his career as a prosecutor, Lilly counts some of his biggest wins as trying and convicting 7 accused murderers and 1 defendant for continuous sexual assault of a child. For more information regarding his candidacy, see his Facebook page or email him at stevelillyforjudge@gmail.com. Jonathan Johnson, age 17, a resident of Sulphur Springs and a life rank scout in Boy Scouts of America, Troop 322 of Greenville, has completed his Eagle Leadership Service project. He and fellow scouts in his troop installed a flagpole at Union Community Cemetery in Hopkins County. The project took many hours of planning and gathering supplies and 2 Saturdays of leading his peers in the work to complete. He dedicated his project to those in the community who had served this nation in military service. The dedication took place on Veterans Day with community veterans in attendance. Representatives of the cemetery board expressed their appreciation for the project. Johnson plans to complete his Eagle Scout rank requirements in the spring of 2018 and then, following his senior year in 2019, enlist in the United States Air Force. Want your school flag to fly at the courthouse November 21st through 27th? The annual alma mater flag bidding war between alumni of colleges and universities, known as Fly Your Flag, is set for Tuesday from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. on KSST Radio, Suddenlink Cable Channel 18, and KSSTradio.com. Updated posts will be shared to the KSST Facebook page. Only the alumni of the winning school must pay, and proceeds benefit the Hopkins County Healthcare Foundation 2017-2018 Lights of Life campaign. Tickets for Friday night's by-district playoff game between Sulphur Springs and Lucas Lovejoy at Gerald Prim Stadium at 7:30 p.m. go on sale at the high school and middle school on Tuesday. There will be no reserved seating, no reserved parking, no passes for students or for the Sulphur Springs Independent School District personnel. Playoff games are not a part of the season ticket holders package. Tickets purchased during the Tuesday-Thursday ticket sale are students for $4, adults for $6. All tickets will be sold at the game Friday night for $8. Sulphur Springs will be the home team, but the venue is treated as a neutral site for playoff games. Here's Don Julian with sports.
Monday morning on the steps of the Hopkins County Courthouse, County Judge Robert Newsom read a lot of proclamations honoring the phenomenal performance by 3 county schools at the Class 1A cross-country meet on November 4th, Miller Grove, Saltillo, and Sulphur Bluff. Those honored included the girls state champ Georgia Bissonette of Miller Grove and runner-up Sienna Collins of Saltillo, along with state champ boys Miller Grove, runner-up Saltillo, and 4th place Sulphur Bluff.
As soon as the news came out about Saturday a week ago, what we did is I received a phone call from Judge Northcutt. This is Judge Eddie Northcutt, and he said, we've got to do something different here because this has never happened. just like what has happened in Hopkins County recently down in Austin, Texas. So I'm going to let him say just a few words, and then we'll make our awards.
First of all, I'm thrilled to death to be here for a few reasons. I have a connection to all three of the schools that are here that sent teams to state. My wife graduated from Saltillo. I taught at Miller Grove before I went to law school, and I asked my wife out on her very first date in the Sulphur Bluff gym. Connection to all three. I'm a runner. My son was a runner. He graduated from Sulphur Springs High School, went to the state track meet as an individual for 3 years, sophomore, junior, senior year, got a scholarship, ran cross country and track at Texas A&M. So I love running. I really do. I have continued to follow the sport. I was blown away when I saw how many teams from Little Hopkins County was going to state. And here's what I mean by that. Sulphur Springs, for instance, has a history of some individual great runners going back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. Individual great runners. We've had some good teams. Lots of teams get to regional. To my knowledge, we have never had a team get to the state cross-country meet because it's that hard to get a state to the meet. So to have one is amazing. To have two is incredible. To have three schools send teams, some boys and girls, to the state track meet is absolutely outstanding, amazing, mind-blowing. And so when I found out that not only did they go, but they did so well, I began to blow his phone up with text messages and said, hey, listen, you can't just bring the champions. You've got to bring them all and recognize all of these kids because I know how hard the miles, it didn't begin in November, it didn't begin in October, it began in the summer. And you began to log miles after miles after miles because there's an age-old phrase that says, miles makes champions. And you guys have demonstrated that. You have put Hopkins County on the map. You are all amazing. You parents are amazing. I know what it takes for parental support to get out there and run, particularly those of you parents that aren't runners that wonder, what in the world are they doing? Sulphur Springs used to have a t-shirt that says, our sport is your sport's punishment. Think about that. You get in trouble in football or basketball, they make you go run. You guys run, and for some of you, it's off-season conditioning for other sports, but you have shown just how great you excel athletically. And so on behalf of Hopkins County, as a fan of the sport, I applaud all of you. And just to show you that he knows what he's talking about, he will be running in the Boston Marathon next year. So, Judge Northcutt speaks for Michigan. Read this, and it's just a very short rendition, but we do have her picture on here, and if you'll want to get this, we'll have lots of time for pictures when this is over. Be sure, folks, this doesn't happen often. First, second, and fourth on teams, first and second with girls, it's amazing, and don't take it lightly. So, whereas on Saturday, November 4th, 2017, a Miller Grove student made history for her school. And whereas the annual Class 1A individual state competition for cross-country took place in Round Rock, Texas, the Georgia Bassinet placed first in this competition and earned the title of state cross-country champion. Whereas it's been said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. The picture below shows the final stretch that Georgia ran to win the state Class 1A cross-country title for 2017, and now, therefore, I, Robert Newsom, Hopkins County Judge, do hereby urge all citizens in Hopkins County to congratulate Georgia Bassinet for her outstanding victory in winning the state Class 1A championship individual cross-country for the year 2017. Sienna Collins is here. Come on up, Sienna. You all right?
her freshman year, she won state, and this year she came in second, which is still amazing, a 12:06, if I recall right. Right, it's amazing. Whereas the state cross-country events for 2017 took place the weekend of November 4, 2017 in Round Rock, Texas, and in the Saltillo School Girls cross-country track individual division, Sienna Collins placed second in the Class 1A cross-country state competition. And below, once again, is a picture of Sienna making her way down to the finish line, bringing home second place honors for the state of Texas for 2017, Sienna Collins. Once again, we're going to go keep the ladies first, and so the Miller Grove girls, come on up. Whereas Round Rock, Texas was assigned to the state cross-country event held on the weekend of November 4, 2017, whereas the Miller Grove School Girls cross-country track placed second in the Class 1A cross-country state competition. Once again, below is a picture of the team for their remembrance of the event. Therefore, I, Robert Newsom, do declare this day to congratulate these young women for their superb second place finish in the Class 1A state championship for the girls division of cross country for 2017. Let me put this gift to the ladies. And again, there could be take more pictures later. Be sure to do that.
I'm not looking. I'm looking back.
Okay, Miller Grove boys, come on up. Did you get them all done? Pull it off. That good? On the weekend of November 4th, 2017, the state cross-country event took place in Round Rock, Texas, and the Miller Grove School Boys cross-country track team placed first and won the Class 1A cross-country state title. And below, once again, is a picture of this awards presentation after the event. Now, therefore, I, Robert Newsom, Hopkins County Judge, do urge all citizens of Hopkins County to congratulate these young men for their outstanding victory in winning the state Class 1A championship in the boys division of cross country for 2017. Congratulations. While they're standing here, because they won first, it's really amazing. And I want to tell you, there's 254 counties in the state of Texas, and the other 253 are saying, what happened? What are y'all doing in Sulphur Springs and Hopkins County to make the difference? So anyway, congratulations. Not to be outdone by much at all, Saltillo boys, come on up. Where everybody can see you. Down there. Somebody gets it. All right, now get over here where they can see you. This is your moment. We want to make the most. On the weekend of November 4th, 2017, the state cross-country events took place in Round Rock, Texas. And whereas the Saltillo School Boys cross-country team placed second in the Class 1A cross-country state competition. Once again, here's a picture of them after the presentation of the medals. And therefore, I, Robert Newsom, Hopkins County Judge, do hereby urge all citizens in Hopkins County to congratulate these young men for their exceptional second place finish in the state 1A state competition in the boys division of cross country for 2017 for the entire state of Texas. Congratulations. Last but not at all least, Sulphur Bluff boys, come on up. Now this is a little bit different because these boys also have special meaning to me because I actually got to preach at them for a while out there when I was pastoring at Sulphur Bluff. So they have a special meaning to me, these young men, and what an outstanding job you've done. Whereas the annual Class 1A state championship for cross country took place in Round Rock, Texas on Saturday, November 4th, 2017. The Sulphur Bluff boys team placed fourth for the highest finish for this team sport ever in the history of your school. Whereas Athletic Director Blake Hill stated, fourth place is the highest finish for any team sport in Sulphur Bluff's history. I do not think these kids realize what that means yet. But one day they'll look back and appreciate what they did for each other and their community over the last 6 months. For the Sulphur Bluff cross-country team, Athletic Director Blake Hill, now therefore I, Robert Newsom, Hopkins County Judge, do hereby urge all citizens in Hopkins County to congratulate these young men in placing fourth in the State 1A State Cross-Country Team event for the state of Texas for 2017.
After all of the proclaiming, I talked with Miller Grove Boys and Girls Cross Country coach Gary Billingsley.
Last year was a little disappointing. I mean, the boys, we had an injury happen and we ended up getting third. And then the girls, we had everybody back coming from the team that won state championship. And I don't know if it was either expectations or just the fact that they thought it was going to be handed to them. And this year's group on the boys' side, from the get-go, we started back with track in April, May, and we started heavily running, and I think they just were determined to do what they were capable of doing. The girls, on the other hand, was a little different. We got 4 freshmen, so it's something totally new for them, and to get them to kind of believe and understand, they have no idea. I mean, we were talking, they just made the regional volleyball tournament. She was talking about, you understand your 2 games from state? And they're like, huh? Really? So getting them to understand how successful they can be and what it actually means to run on a certain level, I think that's one of the biggest obstacles for us as far as that went. But they did, we changed our training a little bit and made a few modifications based upon some things that we thought would benefit us. And they bought into it because it was a little bit different than what we've been doing. So they get all the credit. I just yell at them.
That's a good function.
Yeah.
Without a top 1, 2, 3 finisher or something, really shows what a team sport cross country is and how you had a lot of guys that finished very, very well.
Yeah, the boys' side, it's hard. To get an individual champion. The South Lake Carroll coach just did an interview about it, and the times have been dropping. We won it. The year we won it, I believe our cumulative average time was 18:01. Well, we just went 17:03, and that was just 3 years ago. And that's, with kids getting faster, the idea of, hey, the individual aspect of it, yes, if we'll run well together, then the individual aspect might come out. But the team aspect is what we really try to push because it is a team sport, and it's one of those that, we got lucky enough to get the girl champion, but even the whole year, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to improve in our training, and if the end result comes that you got a chance at that, it's great for you, but we need the 7 of you to run together. And it's one thing to get them to realize that they matter. It's really hard to get the 6 and 7 runners. They're like, oh, I don't matter. To get them to understand they can count against somebody else. Like our 5th runner, he fell down at the finish line, but he was ahead of almost everybody else's team number 1. He fell down at the finish line, ended up Saltillo's number 1 got him, and when he really understood that, I was like, you count for everybody else. He's like, oh, okay. So then, and you get them to understand the team aspect of it, it's good. And that's the part of our opinion, high school athletics. Individual accomplishments are great, but understanding team and unity and discipline and doing something for somebody else, is a big part about what we're doing.
And then trying to be a part of the team, and Georgia Bissonnet finishes first, and our teammates come right in there, and second place finish, so something to maybe shoot for next year.
Yeah, we had our number 5 runner didn't finish. Something happened. I don't know if it was her legs locked up a little bit. Kind of odd because a guy out in Region 1, I think it's a 6A kid, had the same thing. He finished literally 15 feet behind in front of the finish line. I think he was 3rd when he fell. And it was a lack of oxygen to the brain. And it's kind of odd because we had 2 kids that it happened to. So kind of something that we might have to look into. But if she would have finished this, Naz would have still beat us. And Naz has a good group. They senior led. The Caitlin girl did a great job. I think she finished 6th. And they should have actually won it the year we won it. And then last year they should have won it. They won their region, and then the team that got second in the region ended up winning it. And I think they were just a little more hungry than ours, honestly. I think they just had something they were actually running for and knowing. They had quite a few upperclassmen, so hopefully it gets a little hungry. I think it did. Volleyball ended, and 3 of them this morning sent me a text, said, what do we run this morning? So I think it's there.
Volleyball, you were in a 5th set and lost 16-14, so just right there.
Yeah, so youth again, I think. We play 4 freshmen, and one girl who's a sophomore gets to play a lot. She didn't play varsity volleyball last year because she just wasn't. The team last year was heavy upperclassmen, so it's a tribute to them. Their parents give them to us, I guess. I don't know if they get tired of them or they just want them to be successful, but parents letting these kids put in a lot of time is a big key to what we get to do.
The Wildcats basketball team opened the regular season with a solid 66-58 win over Class 6A state-ranked Arlington Bowie in the Cowtown Showdown Saturday in North Crowley. Victory Walker led the Wildcats with 25 points, while Gigi, or God's Gift Eza Denma, and Keyston Willis added 14 points apiece. Wildcats basketball coach Clark Cipolletta said defense was the key to victory.
Yes, I was really proud of just how we came out focused. We came out prepared, and we played the way that I know we can play. And it started with just getting stops on the defensive end. They had a real good guard, one of the top in the country, and I just thought our focus and really knowing where he was and getting team stops, really led us to a victory.
You were down at the half and then had a huge third quarter led by that defense you're talking about.
Right, and even in the first half, I thought we played really well. We rebounded, we made it real tough for them to make shots, and there towards the end, we pick up a technical, give them 2 points, we turn it over, then they hit a 3, then we foul them on a 3. So we gave them like 8 points right at the end, and that's something you can't do, but I was very happy that we came out and responded the way we did in the third quarter, just allowing 2 points. I think we outscored them 15-2 maybe, but it all starts with defense, and I think that's what won us the game.
All right, Victor had a huge ball game for you.
He did a marvelous job, and even though he had 25 points, I can't stress on the defensive end how well he did. And I don't even know if he blocked a shot. He might have blocked one, but he guarded the Cade Cunningham kid the whole night and just really made it tough on him. Contested all of his shots, stayed in front, didn't gamble, just played really solid, and that was what I was most proud of him about.
That was a D1 recruit, I think you're talking
about.
Oh,
for sure, yeah. I think Kansas has offered him. I mean, he's top of the line, and a lot of people there a lot of colleges were there to see him, and I thought Victor made a good case on his resume as well.
You've been looking forward to seeing Victor and Gigi on the court at the same time, and you got that opportunity, and Gigi had a big ball game, as did Keyston Willis.
Yes, and Michael Jefferson had a huge ball game for us as well. But Gigi, I thought he was a big difference maker, just his size and his competitiveness. You can't see that. That's not a stat that you can keep in a newspaper, just competitiveness and the ability to talk and just kind of will your team to get stops. And he does a good job of that. He's a very good leader. We're better when he's part of the team. And I thought he made a good case for that. And also Keyston came up big for us. Michael came up big. And even guys that didn't score. Xavier, he didn't have any points but played an outstanding ball game. Had, I think, 2 or 3 blocks, maybe like 8 rebounds. So, it was just a complete team effort.
To the coach, there's always more than points.
Oh, there is, because it's the little things. And I was telling the guys, if you break it down, you're going to have the ball about 5% of the game in your hands. So what are you going to do that other 95%? That's going to affect the game. So be good at that 95. And I think that's something, kids are really taking into account.
Hit the road, a hostile environment. How good is Rockwall Heath?
They're picked to win their district. Real good 6A team. They went to the playoffs last year. They shoot the ball extremely well. They like to play fast. They'll press. So it'll be another good, strong 6A team for us to, just really learn and grow from. So we're excited.
The Lady Cats basketball team used a pair of long scoring runs to open the season with a 73-46 road win over a scrappy Emory Reigns team Saturday afternoon. The Lady Cats opened the game with a 17-point run. Then they struggled as Emory Reigns cut into the lead. The Lady Cats led 20-10 after the first quarter. But Reigns outscored the Lady Cats 17-6 in the second quarter and actually took a 27-26 halftime lead. Reigns also scored the first 4 points in the third quarter and led 31-26. The Lady Cats then answered with a 15 straight point run to go up 41-31. The Lady Cats doubled their score in the third quarter to lead Reigns 52-33. The Lady Cats continued to pull away, outscoring the home team 21-13 in the fourth quarter. Quick point guard Sadavia Porter led the Lady Cats with 27 points, including 3 three-pointers. Kaylee Jefferson poured in 26 points, including 13 free throws and a three-pointer. Autumn Tanton had 10 points. Tierra Rose had 7 points, including a 3, and Layla King also banked in a 3 for 3 points. The Lady Cats are 1-0 for the season. They play next at North Lamar Tuesday night at 7:30.
A major change is happening on Quiet 4th Street. Sulphur Springs High School's Construction 1 class, led by instructor Harold Smithson, are building a house. The class previously built and sold sheds. This new addition to the curriculum comes from Superintendent Mike Lamb. Smithson explained that when Lamb was in high school, his construction class built a house, and it's a project everyone is excited about. KSST talked to 2 of the team leaders about how they are enjoying the class.
Honestly, it's just something new. You wouldn't expect to see it anywhere else. So, we built sheds, but not a house. That's kind of a jump for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
taking a field trip every day, coming out here, hanging out, building a house. It's a lot of fun.
I'm over group 1. We have 4 to 5 people a group. We have 3 groups. And the 4th one, we all just come together. It was supposed to be building a house in 4 different sections, but we ended up just coming together on certain parts. It's easier and quicker that way. But right now we're putting up OSB. My group is in charge of getting this side of the house done. Sonny's group was in charge of getting this side. We're trying to get all the OSB up.
The house and land are currently owned by the school district, but have a lucky recipient who gets first bid.
And Mark Maxwell, city manager, knew of somebody that was looking for a home. So she had a set of plans, and so this is her set of plans. And when it's all said and done, when we're finished building it and everything, she has basically what would be the first right of refusal.
Okay.
She can still say, no, I don't want it, And that's fine in the school district, so put it on the market. So.
The students are responsible for most of the work. However, some work, such as plumbing and electrical work, the students legally can't complete.
There's some things that they cannot do, okay, for one reason or another. Like, for instance, plumbing. That has to be done by a licensed plumber.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can't do that. Now, we'll do some of it, but I mean, as far as like setting the toilet, that kind of thing. We'll do some of that, maybe dropping the sinks in and things like that. But all the actual plumbing has to be done by a plumber.
Okay.
Licensed plumber. And there's a few other areas that have to have help with. I mean, we'll have a licensed electrician here. They'll assist him and watch everything that gets done, but they won't be doing it.
Oh yeah? Yeah, Blake. What is going on? Show it off. Is that our board, Jose?
That's what I'm saying. What's the one?
Let me see right here. I see mine. No, it's...
Well, don't tell them, but they're learning a lot of math and fractions and things. Oh, we'll never use that. Yes, sir. They're using it a lot.
If I don't have a job to fall back on later on in the future, I can always go to construction because I'll learn more stuff and I will have that experience.
What he said, I can say it any better.
One of the worst parts is when something small causes such a big problem.
Like what? Give me an example.
The walls to begin with, we had a set of plans that told us that the walls would be 9 foot tall, and the city had a set of plans that said the walls would be 11 foot tall. And after we done had 2, 3, 4 walls built, and we figured that out, so that stopped.
So what happened? What'd y'all do?
We had to wait for the city to answer us back about how we was going to do the house, and so the height of the walls did not change the headers or the how many studs we were going to have, and so we just started cutting headers and making headers, and cleaned up some around here. We did that. We built the doorways and the headers and the T's. We built a lot of stuff. So we can just slide stuff into place now.
And I figured, I could see myself building houses, possibly.
It's evident from the smiles that all of the students enjoy this class as they have a good time while learning lots and gaining valuable work experience. The roof trusses will go on this week, and they hope to be in the dry with a complete roof by Christmas. For KSST, I'm Savannah Owens.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.